But that's a very good piece of advice. If you're in a shitty relationship, get out.
I'm engaged.
I'm a perennial Tinder user.
And I'm in a relationship.
Well, you have to like the person. Obviously, if you don't like the person, that's not going to work.
Trust would be the foundation of a good relationship. If you can't trust somebody, then why would you have a relationship with them? I mean, that's not just
Resources.
male-female relationship. That's any relationship in the world ever.
If you're like a Frank Underwood or a Claire Underwood, and you just want to move up the power chain, like, do they trust each other?
Do they have a good relationship, though? That would be the question. I would say not.
Communication. I'm just gonna take that cliche out of the way and run with it. Because if you can't communicate, then what the hell are you doing? And then you'll get into fights, and then it will all crumble. Like probably Claire and Frank Underwood's relationship will do before the show ends.
You just spoiled.
Don't even air this. You've ruined it for hundreds and hundreds of Cadre readers and multimedia viewers.
I don't know. What do people do for dates?
I don't date anymore. It's called a thing.
It's called a thing?
Things are cool.
I thought like things were things that happened in high school.
A thing is like an idea. It's not really a commitment, I don't think.
I feel like dates are becoming a thing of the past, and that's quite sad. It was a nice way to get to know somebody, and now you just got things. You text all the time or whatever's happening these days.
I don't know. You just do things, and then sometimes things move on from that.
A prime example of romance, Drew McCaffrey.
It's just weird. It's like even dating. Nobody knows what dating means today. Does dating mean you go on dates? Which is what's implied by dating. Does it mean you're actually in a relationship with someone? Nobody knows. Nobody understands the lingo. Here's an idea. Maybe a little bit crazy, but I'm thinking as soon as you come in the door for NSO, you get an info sheet. It gives you all the slang. It gives you all the tips. Tips on your Tinder profile. So you get into university, it's a different ballgame, you know what I mean?
I would not encourage people to use Tinder though.
Why? Well, you're engaged. You don't. It's not meant for you.
You just interact with people, and then
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, hey, I like this person.
I mean, why do you need
Let's see
to
where it goes.
match on some phone app when you can just start a conversation with somebody?
But why do you need to go through the effort of talking to someone when you can literally lie in bed at 3 a.m. before you go to bed and match with people like I do?
We're defining relationships as something that has to be convenient, and they're not convenient. They're work.
Is this the thing with dating today? That too many people are kind of in a societal situation where it's kind of like, hey, convenience, and I don't want to do anything that's not my own little worldview. So it's like, oh, I'll go with Tinder or whatever. And then people get confused because the idea of dating, well, a relationship really seems to be inherently contradictory with a lot of the trends of modern society. And so people are all twisted and torn. And then I'm just like, yeah, that's what's happening, and sitting back and not speaing.
Drew,
Except for now.
that was the smartest way to describe what is wrong with the dating world ever stated.
If it goes bad, it's too early.
Yeah. I don't know, it depends on the relationship as well, and the circumstances of the two people who decide to be in a relationship, but like some people jump the gun real early on this one.
You say that shit on a first date?
Oh,
You're done.
like Ted
You're
Mosby.
done.
Like
You're cut.
you don't want to pull the Ted Mosby.
Dude, you say that shit on
Yeah.
Tinder too? Get out of here. Unmatched so fast. Like, I don't even know how to describe
People say
that
I love you
process.
on Tinder.
I don't know. Some people probably do, I imagine.
It's probably possible for people to have a relationship with at least several different people potentially throughout their lives, but you know, what you do is that you find somebody and then you start dating and then you start building a common shared experience with them and growing with each other, and then that becomes special and you have to create work into that, and then it just goes there, where if you just say, oh, we're soulmates, it kind of doesn't really give the kind of beautiful aspect of that the attention it deserves, and probably would give people false expectations. And then instead of recognizing that that's what you need to do, they're like, oh, why doesn't this work? And then it's like, oh, because you have a false expectation of reality.
I think there's something really nice about the notion of soulmates, but I don't really think that it's a thing for many of the reasons that Drew had stated. Now, I think that there's a lot of people who have amazing chemistry together.
Yeah.
And chemistry is a huge part of relationships. But to say that there is that one individual somewhere in the world that has like the ultimate amount of chemistry with you, I don't necessarily believe that.
It's like that idea of 1 in a million, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you're 1 in a million, that means there's like what, 7,000 or 8,000 of you in the world. I don't know.
Don't know. Hard to describe.
Yeah.
If like poets and artists have spent millennia trying to do it, I very highly doubt us three will be able to answer it in a video.
That's true. That question. It's a very good feeling. It's a nice feeling, but I don't know how to describe it.
It's probably chill. You're today for the first time. Loving and being loved is chill. Incredible. We figured it out in 2016. Yes, the male idea of the friend zone is that there's someone you want to be in a relationship with, but this person does not want to be in a relationship with you. So say you're okay as a friend, but I don't want anything more than that.
The friend zone, or the danger of the friend zone, is kind of really, this is quite possible in today's dating world. It's kind of like what John said, the more straightforward, do you want to date? Yes, no, go from there. Really doesn't exist, and it's either like Tinder dating or kind of like seeing what happens and then moving on from there. So because the boundaries are not clearly defined, it leaves room for hurt feelings all around.
Be very honest. Don't be that girl from What Do You Mean by Justin Bieber who's always hot and cold and you can't understand it. Just be straightforward and direct. It'll help you in the long run.
Looks like
You're asking a guy who he's never used Tinder. He doesn't even know what the hell is going on. Major key to success. Find an accomplishment in your life, blow it up to incredible proportions and make you seem way fucking cooler than you actually are. Now, you can't do that for me, but you can do it for yourself. You can also change up where you look for people. That's a big thing. For example, if you're going to the bar looking for people and you're not getting anybody from the bar, stop going to the bar and looking for people.
I'm just gonna say something. I did not know Netflix and chill was a euphemism until recently. Being yourself, and if you're an okay, decent person, I'm sure something will pop up eventually. Because, honestly, sometimes people just come into your life and you don't expect it, and then you're like, hey, we can go from here.
You kind of have to be yourself, because if you're not being yourself and you're trying to portray yourself as something else, at some point when you're in a relationship with somebody, yourself is going to come out.
Obviously, being an executive is very prestigious, so I'm sure girls just go crazy. University of Prince Edward Island, again, a very prestigious academic. There is a voice actress that follows me on Twitter, serious voice actress, but I put that much in her bio. And I'm not sure if it gets me matches, but I get matches regardless, so something is working.
I can